The Champions League 2020, also referred to as the CLT20, is an annual international 2020 cricket competition played between the top domestic teams from major cricketing nations. The competition was launched in 2008 with a first edition held in October 2009. It is jointly owned by the BCCI, Cricket Australia and Cricket South Africa, and is chaired by Srinivasan, who is also the president of the BCCI. Sundar Raman is the Chief Operating Officer of the CLT20 as well as the IPL. The tournament is held between September and October for a period of 2 to 3 weeks in either India or South Africa. It has a total prize pool of $6 million, with the winning team receiving $2.5 million, the highest for a club cricket tournament in history. The current format involves the best teams from the Premier 2020 competitions of 7 test-playing nations, favouring the teams from India, Australia and South Africa. History, background. 2020 cricket was launched by the England and Wales Cricket Board in 2003 with the 2020 Cup as a result of a long-term decline in the popularity of county championship and domestic limited overs cricket. By shortening matches to around 3 hours, the format was designed to attract a younger crowd and boost attendances. Cricketing nations began adopting the format and creating domestic 2020 competitions. This was followed by the creation of international 2020 tournaments. International 2020 Club Championship was an early attempt at an international 2020 club tournament. It was held in 2005 and featured domestic 2020 teams from 3 countries. 2020 International, the form of 2020 played between national cricket teams, began in February 2005 and the ICC World 2020, the 2020 version of the Cricket World Cup, was first held in September 2007. Domestic 2020 competitions began with England's 2020 Cup in 2003. By 2006, most of the major cricketing nations had created their own domestic 2020 competitions. However, all these competitions had a style similar to their existing first-class and List A cricket counterparts, with most even using the same teams. In 2008, the Indian Premier League was launched and achieved revolutionary success and popularity. The IPL has top cricketers and coaches from around the world. A franchise system where the 8 teams auctioned for a combined $723 million, several of which are owned by Bollywood superstars. Loyal team support from fans, and large support from sponsorship. Creation. Immediately after the end of the first IPL season, the cricket authorities in India, Australia and South Africa entered into discussions to create a new international club competition and capitalise on this success. The plans for the creation of the Champions League 2020 were first announced on September 13, 2007. The inaugural edition was to be held in October 2008, run by the cricket boards of India, England, Australia and South Africa, and featuring 2 teams from each country. However, the tournament encountered problems when the Board of Control for Cricket in India, which owns 50% of the tournament, decided to bar players from the Indian Cricket League from participating. England featured ICL players in many of their teams, including their domestic tournaments runners-up the Kent Spitfires. The BCCI decided to replace Kent's slot with a team from Pakistan and was prepared to also replace the remaining England team. In response, ECB devised plans for their own Champions League. ECB eventually agreed to the terms from the BCCI. The CLT20 was founded by the BCCI, Cricket Australia and Cricket South Africa with 1 team from England and $6 million in prize money. Following this, another problem arose with the International Cricket Council over the tournament dates, which clashed with the ICC Champions Trophy, and the CLT20 was moved to December 2008. Plans were also made for the second edition to be held in late 2009 with 12 teams. In November 2008, the tournament was again put in jeopardy when Mumbai suffered terrorist attacks and the organisers attempted to reschedule again to early 2009. In December 2008, it was finally pushed to September 2009, when it was successfully held as per the plans for the 2009 edition. Reception and impact. the tournament received strong support from its creation. Its $6 million prize money pool was described by the organizers as the single largest prize money pool in any cricket tournament so far. ESPN Star Sports paid $900 million for the global broadcasting rights to every match for 10 years, a deal comparable to when Sony Entertainment Television and World Sport Group purchased the rights to the Indian Premier League for $1.026 billion for 10 years. Ahead of the 2009 edition, Bharti Airtel bought the title sponsorship rights for 3 years for reportedly $40 million. Despite this, the inaugural 2009 edition, held in India, was not highly received by its targeted Indian audience, who only showed interest for the IPL teams. This was demonstrated by low attendance and television ratings. According to TAM Media Research, it drew an average television ratings point of 1.06, much lower than the 4.1 achieved by the 2009 Indian Premier League. Low viewership led to Bharti Airtel ending its 5-year sponsorship deal after 2 years. Nokia signed a 4-year deal to replace Bharti Airtel as the title sponsor but also withdrew after 1 year. Carbone Mobiles replaced Nokia in 2012. Several attempts were made at improving reception. The marketing campaign for 2010 included television commercials featuring Bollywood stars, while the 2011 edition had Shah Rukh Khan as brand ambassador and an opening ceremony featuring international hip-hop artists. The ratings for the 2010 edition, held in South Africa, improved to 1.45. This is attributed to better performances by the IPL teams. The final, won by the Chennai Super Kings, drew an All-India rating of 3.30 while matches with the Mumbai Indians had an average rating of 2.11. The tournament format was changed in 2011 to introduce a 3-day qualifying stage which allowed the inclusion of a 4th IPL team and weaker teams to be eliminated early. The 2011 edition saw the average rating increase to 1.64 but depended on IPL teams featuring in both semi-finals and the final. Despite low viewership, the tournament succeeded in providing a global stage and significant financial support for low-profile teams. Players have also capitalized on the opportunity to further their careers in 2020 cricket. Kieron Pollard helped Trinidad and Tobago finish runners-up in the 2009 edition, including an innings where he scored 54 runs off 18 balls. This earned him an IPL contract at the 2009 IPL Players Auction, where he was sold for an undisclosed amount after attracting the maximum possible bid of $750,000. Sunil Narine and Kevin Cooper also earned IPL contracts after competing for Trinidad and Tobago in the 2011 edition. Previously relatively unknown, Narine and Cooper were sold for $700,000 and $50,000 respectively at the 2012 IPL auction and made immediate impacts to their teams. In particular, Narine helped his team win the 2012 Indian Premier League and was named Player of the Tournament. Similarly, in 2012 edition, Chris Morris helped take Veld Lions to reach the final and in return it earned him an IPL contract at the 2013 IPL auction where his was bought by Chennai Super Kings for $625,000, 51 times his base price. Format: although each edition held had a different format and had a different number of participating teams, each had a group stage and a 2-round knockout stage. A qualifying stage was introduced in 2011, reducing direct entrance to only teams from India, South Africa and Australia. Each team receives a participation fee of $500,000. Every edition had a total prize money of $6 million. Since 2010, it had been distributed as follows: $2.5 million a Euro winners, $1.3 million a Euro runners-up, $500,000 a Euro losers and semi-finals, $200,000 a Euro teams eliminated in the group stage. Before the commencement of the tournament, each team names a squad of 15 players. All players must have been contracted by the team for their domestic tournament. Mirroring the IPL rule, each team can field a maximum of 4 international players. Most of the other tournaments have a lower limit on both contracted international players and how many can play in their matches. In 2011, an exception to the rule was made for the Mumbai Indians who, due to players being unavailable, had a squad of 7 Indian players and would have been unable to put together a playing team of 11 players should another be injured. They were allowed to field 5 international players. Mumbai won the CL T20 that year. Players: should a player be a part of more than one qualified team, he can play for his home team without consequence. If he plays for any other team, that team must pay the home team a compensation fee. Indian Premier League teams have been the most popular choice for these players. In the 2010 edition, controversy arose when an IPL team contractually forced 3 players to play for them by utilising a clause in the rules of the IPL. The clause states that the IPL teams have first rights over their players should they qualify with another team. The choice of the players and the nature of the rules are common subjects of debate with every edition. It continued to cause confusion until 2013 when it was clarified that the CL T20 rules state the players are free to choose their team. However, for a player named in an IPL team squad, he would have to forego 20% of his salary to choose another team. The IPL offers the most lucrative salaries and is the only tournament to have a clause relating to the CL T20 in its contracts. As a result, players are unlikely to choose against their IPL teams. For non-IPL teams wanting to keep their players, not only would they be forfeiting the compensation fee, some have felt the need to offer their players compensation in an attempt to sway their decision. The only player to have chosen another team over his IPL team was Kumar Sangakkara in 2013. His team, the Kandarata Maroons, lost all their matches and did not advance beyond the qualifying stage. This incentive was lessened when IPL contracts were changed in 2014 to not have player salaries cover participation in the CL T20. A player will instead receive an additional 10% of his IPL salary for representing his IPL team in the CL T20. Participation. The participating teams are from the top cricketing nations and determined by the Premier 2020 tournaments of those nations. Each edition has featured teams from India, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, the West Indies and Sri Lanka. England have been in 3 editions but refused further participation after 2012 as their domestic season clashed with the tournament's dates. Pakistan did not participate in the tournament until 2012 due to the hostility between India and Pakistan since the 2008 Mumbai attacks. As the tournament is mainly targeted at the Indian audience, all editions have featured more teams from India than any other country. From 2011, 4 Indian teams competed while other countries had 2 teams at most. India is the first choice for hosting the tournament. While the tournament format remained almost unchanged, the qualification tournaments have changed to include more overseas players and create stronger teams. The Caribbean 2020 was created in the West Indies after their representative finished runners-up in the 2009 edition. It was later expanded to become the Caribbean Premier League in 2013. Australia and Sri Lanka have expanded their tournaments to create the Big Bash League in 2011 and the Sri Lanka Premier League in 2012 respectively. Participation in the tournament is highly desired. Since the Bangladesh Premier League was created in 2012, its organisers had hoped for their teams to be included in the tournament. A Bangladeshi team has yet to participate in the CL T20. The Dhaka Gladiators, winners of the 2013 BPL, expressed their disappointment after being excluded in 2013 despite the efforts made by their management. Venue: it was originally intended for the host of the tournament to be rotated between the countries of the 3 shareholders, India, South Africa and Australia. The broadcasting agreement also demands that at least 5 of the first 10 editions are to be held in India. However, Australia has yet to be considered due to its unsuitable weather in September and due to its time zone being undesirable for the broadcaster. South Africa first hosted in 2010 but India has since been the first preference for hosting. South Africa was only chosen to host in 2012 when situations made it infeasible for India to host. Tournament summary: Best performance. The table below provides an overview of the performances of teams over past editions of the Champions League 2020. League and group stages are considered equivalent. Note: list includes qualifier results also. AAA teams do not participate. AAA are defunct teams. Tie plus W and tie plus L indicates matches tied and then won or lost by super over. The result percentage excludes no results and counts ties as half a win. Last updated, May 30, 2014, titles, source, Cricinfo. Last updated, July 25, 2014, season summary, source, Cricinfo, statistics and records. As of the 2012 edition, 30 teams have competed in 103 matches. Individual players have appeared in as many as 4 editions and 20 matches. 4 players have scored centuries, 16 players have taken 4 wickets in an innings and 3 players have taken 5 wickets in an innings. 1 player has taken a hat-trick. Media coverage, references. External links, official website, Champions League 2020 on Twitter, CLT20 schedule and fixtures.